Hi there, it's Ashley with Mama Needs a Manual, and today we're finally on the last day of the Tantrum Survival Guide series. So we're going to be talking about letter S, and if you haven't picked up this, you have a free printable available to you on the blog. If you missed the other days, you should go back and catch up. I think you'll be happy that you spent a little bit of time reading some of these tips to help you just stay sane in the season of many tantrums and discipline issues. So today we're going to talk about S, and S stands for silliness, shift your language, and stick to what you say. So first, I have this lovely tickle monster hand here, and so our boys love being tickled. They love being the tickle monster. So one piece of advice I have to you is to remember to be silly. Sometimes when all else fails, make a silly face. A few weeks ago, my son was screaming in the back seat of the car. For some reason, it tends to always happen on car rides when I can't reach what they want, or sometimes for no reason at all, they just decide to all start screaming. And so I just looked at him in the rearview mirror and made a ridiculous silly face and spoke to him in a silly voice, and he just stopped and started laughing. So sometimes making a silly face can help. Sometimes when you want to yell, if you just stop and you say, can I tell you a secret? And whisper to them, that can work. My husband has a fun game he came up with when our boys are fighting with each other. He says, do I need to be the ref? And he picks them up and he puts one on each shoulder and just carries them around the house, and they start laughing and forget about what they were fighting over. Something else you can do that I read in the book, How to Talk to Little Kids, I'll have it linked on the blog, is to make inanimate objects talk. So say your child isn't eating, you can say, oh, food. The food is saying, I need a mouth, and you make the food talk to them. Or you can say, oh, your food is disappearing. Oh my goodness, where is it going? And sometimes that makes them want to eat. Or you can do the same thing when they're getting dressed. You can make pants talk or shoes talk. If they're wanting to throw the sand, you can say, oh no, let's pat the sand down. Stay down, sand. You can talk to inanimate objects. So just this idea of being kind of playful. Something that I decided to do, one of our sons has extreme reactions whenever he gets hurt. Anytime any small thing happens, he just gets really loud really quickly. And so when he runs into the wall or to a cabinet or something, a lot of times I'll hit the cabinet with my hand. I say, no, cabinet, don't you hurt my baby. And again, it's silly, but he thinks it's hilarious, and usually it helps him calm down faster, and now he even does that himself. Or sometimes he'll say, Mama, say no. And so I'll talk to inanimate objects. So that's just something that you can have in your toolbox to help you, is to remember to be silly. So when you want to yell, instead make a silly face or try whispering and see how that works for you. So we have silliness. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is shift your language. And so for that, I have my glasses here. It's all about perspective. And I talked about this in the first video, the training video, but sometimes it is incredibly powerful to tell your child what he can do instead of what he cannot do. And I try to do this all day long. Anytime I'm correcting them, I try to say, you can't do this, but you can do this. And I try to replace the cannot with the can. I'm telling them what they are allowed to do. So I'm not just shutting them down. Any type of behavior that they want to do when they want to run, I say, we can't run inside, we can run outside. We can't yell out inside, we can yell outside, or we can whisper. Can't throw the books, but you can throw balls. So you're constantly trying to tell them what they can do instead of what they can't do. And so there's just that shift in language, and a lot of times that shift in perspective helps your child as well. Instead of just focusing on what they can't do, it gives them an outlet to actually be able to do something. It's like if I tell you, don't think about chocolate, you're automatically thinking about chocolate. But if I say, think about an apple, now you're replacing your don't think about chocolate with think about an apple. And so we need to put something into our kids' minds to think about and to act on, instead of just telling them what they cannot do. And then lastly, I have stickers. Stick to what you say. I think that this I think as parents we all know this, but it's just good to remind myself this, and you guys, when you say something, whatever you do, make sure you say, or you follow through with what you said. So before you say, if you do this, you're going to go to timeout, or if you do this, you're going to get a spanking, or if you do this, I'm taking this thing away, you have to make sure, am I able to actually follow through? Like, are you in a place where that's possible? Do you have a crying baby in your arms? Like, are you able to follow through with what you just said? Because whatever you say, you better be willing and able to follow through with the consequence. Because our kids are going to learn really quickly whether or not we will follow through. They're going to learn, do mommy and daddy really mean what they say when they say it? Or is it just words, just a suggestion? They don't ever follow through. So just remember when you say something to stick to it. And kind of along that same vein, whenever you say anything in general, you just want to follow through. And so if you're telling your child they can't do something and then they throw a tantrum, whatever you do, don't give in to the tantrum. You know, you can try all these other techniques, but you don't want to give in to their fit. That's why all those things I talked about preventing the tantrums help so much. So go back and watch all the different tips I have for preventing a tantrum from even starting. And then there's, of course, tools to dealing with the tantrums when they actually happen. So I hope that helps. So don't forget, silliness, shift your language, and stick to what you say. And if you want to get this free printable for your refrigerator, you can subscribe online. I'm going to be doing a giveaway soon, a giveaway in the next couple days, so stay tuned, spread the word. I hope you found these helpful, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.